Okay, hello and welcome back. We are back with another employment pathway team member. If you would like to introduce yourself, your team, and maybe give us a hint what sort of game you produced during your time at Jump
Okay, so my name is Alex. I'm part of the team of Aeaeae, which took part in the employment pathway transfuser game jam. So we developed the game The Lost King, and I am the designer of the team.
Wonderful. Okay, I'll pop the game on the screen, and maybe you can give us some idea of where did the idea for the game come from? Where did it originate?
Well, actually, it is a combination of different games and their mechanics. Different games that I played when I was younger, when I was a child. My favorite games. One of them is actually Heroes of Might and Magic, from which I took the way of movement, uh, the movement from Tau to Tau, and taking turns. And the other game which I was inspired by is the Pokemon Fire Red game, which is basically how the battle system was created in our game.
Awesome, awesome.
And
Yeah.
yeah, that is it basically.
So
The
you
two games that I was inspired by.
awesome. So yeah, you took a lot of inspiration from essentially what you loved about the games you played and just put it together, which I think
Yeah.
is great. How did you feel? How did you feel about the scope of your project? Did you have to cut any stuff out, or did you go into it thinking, okay, this is what we are making, and it's manageable, and we know we can do it?
Well, since it was the first game for every single member of our team, we didn't really have a pattern which we could follow. So basically, we had the basic design idea, what the game would be like, what the mechanics would be like, and as we progressed through creating the game, we added different stuff, and I don't think that we had something like ideas that we didn't convert into the game.
So everything that was planned actually made it into the project.
Yeah, it was like a puzzle, and we were just trying to find every single piece and put everything together.
Okay, okay, I like that. I think it's a great analogy. And
Yeah.
so your time at the employment pathway. How do you feel like uh, going forward with the piece that you managed to produce? Do you see it as a portfolio piece, or would you want to develop it further?
Well, I think it is both because
Okay.
first of all, of course, it would be very, very useful for me as a portfolio piece, the
Yeah.
game that we created. But also, I think the game could be developed, it could be improved. But unfortunately, in order to do so, I think, at least in my opinion, the game should be created anew. It should be started from the beginning because we have
Okay.
a lot of things that we should add, we should adjust and something like that. Yeah.
Uh, well, in terms of adjusting, what do you feel with the experience you gained, right, when you finished the project? What was like the first thing that if you could, you would go back and change?
Um. Well, there was actually one major feature that we didn't really think about, and after we just finished the game, the people that played our game just told us that why you didn't do it, and it was
Right.
basically the thing was that the character is moving one tile at a time, and we should have made it that the player could move 3 or 4 tiles at one time, which
Okay,
could be, I don't know, not so boring.
I see. Uh, so, I mean, at the end of the day, though, you went into an employment pathway to I feel like learn about this sort of things, right? It was a game jam as well, jam fuser, right? So I think you were placed by definitely some time constraints. Um, on the other
Well,
hand, yeah, go on. Sorry.
yeah, basically, I think that if we had more time, we
Mhm.
could develop some features better and we could
Absolutely.
think of more features, of
Yeah.
course. So I think we did our best because, of course, time just made it harder for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. On the
Yeah.
opposite side of spectrum, what would you consider the best thing about your game? What's the favorite aspect of it for you?
For me, the best aspect of the game is maybe the. I can't really choose because there are many. I like the music. I really like the mechanic with the turn-based strategy, basically taking turns. Um, and also, I like the plot which we created for the game, the story. So maybe combination between the three of them.
I see. So the entire game.
Yeah, basically the entire game. Yeah.
You mentioned the story. I would love to hear more about the story, and if it does it also originate from the game that inspired the mechanics?
Well, it was created by me, the story. I mean, it wasn't inspired by anything. I was just sitting and writing the story. Um, so yeah, maybe the inspiration came from somewhere, but I cannot really tell you from where.
Would you like
And
to maybe give us a hint of what the story is about roughly?
okay, so basically we've got this fantasy world, the kingdom of Anrakia, and our character, actually the player, uh, is taking the role of Prince Warwick, who is the son of King Elric, the mighty ruler of the kingdom of Anrakia. And basically, the king he disappears mysteriously, and the prince is starting a journey to find his father. Basically, that is what the game is all about. But in the end, I don't want to spoil the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a turn in the plot and big reveal. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. There is some incentive to check out the game. Um, if you had more time to develop the game during the Jump Fuser, what was the first thing that you think you would continue working on that you maybe felt needed a bit more time in the baking?
Well, actually, I could think about two things.
Okay.
The first one is I would like to add more variety to the battle mechanics because right now, basically, the battle phase is the player taking turns with the enemy, and the player could choose between two attacks, attack one and attack two, to conduct to the enemy.
Yeah.
I would like to create more variety, different usable items in the game, which could turn the tide of the battle, something like that.
I see. I see.
And the other thing, I already mentioned it, basically the movement I would like to improve, to take more steps at one time, because I think that it gets at some point a bit boring, that the player should just click on every single tile.
All right.
Yeah.
I see. I see. I think you still managed to really put together a great project. Do you
Yeah, thank you.
absolutely? Do you reckon in the future? Because I'm noticing currently in the current version you had in the game, and I want to know if it's a design choice because in some games it is where the player weapon doesn't actually change depending on the equipment. Is the equipment just like secondary and do you want the protagonist? Did you want the protagonist to remain the same visually?
Well, here we were restrained actually by a major factor that we don't have an artist in our team. So actually, the visual aspect of the game, everything comes from the Unity asset store.
I see.
So maybe I would like to have a visual representation of the items that the player equips, which could be great, of course, but we were restrained by the fact that we didn't have an artist. We were basically a programmer and a designer.
I see, I see.
Yeah.
So was it just the two of you making the game during your employment pathway?
Well, actually, the team consists of 3 people, but the main work was done by me and the programmer.
Okay.
The third person actually helped us with finding assets, and right now also about the social media. Yeah,
Yep. Okay.
we are currently developing the social media
You are developing the
page.
social media, so are you moving forward as a team in the direction?
Well, we're thinking about it. We're actually currently just thinking about the possible future
Yeah.
ideas that we could create, we could build. And yeah, we are currently also fixing different bugs in our current game, The Last King, because there were lots of major bugs. We will actually release a new patch of the game
Awesome.
soon with some fixes, and yeah.
Awesome, awesome. I believe there is an each.io link rotating under you.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
okay.
should be one, so I recommend looking up the game. Any other shoutouts, or maybe do you have maybe some stories from the development that you would like to share that we maybe didn't go into?
Well, about the development, as I think I mentioned, this is the first game for everyone in the team. So the development was a bit chaotic as we didn't really have a certain plan
Yeah.
how to build the game. It was just throwing different ideas and trying to convert them into the game. So I think that we did our best in order to create something very great. Um, of course, we could do a better job, but I'm very proud of the game. It is my first game, and
Yeah.
I'm very proud as it reached a high place in the game jam.
Yeah.
Also, I'm proud that I'm here because of the game.
Yeah, yeah, there it is, there it
Yeah.
is. Absolutely, congratulations. It was really great to see your game back during Jump Fuser and during all of the awards. Yeah, so any shoutouts that you might have before we finish up?
Well, I don't think so. I think that I mentioned everything. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, well,
So,
thank you so much. It was a pleasure chatting with you. Guys, if you want to check out the game from the Jump User, The Lost King, you can go to the each.io link that is currently on the screen. And yeah, we are gonna go to just a really short break, and then I'll be talking to the next employment pathway team called Banana Folk. So yeah, talk to you guys soon. Oh.